For Fox Sports, I'm Annabelle Stefan alongside Longhorn Digest Kevin Flaherty here on Texas Longhorns campus. Kevin, the biggest news really surrounding the athletic program right now is that basketball player Ioannis Papapetrou signed with Olympiacos instead of coming back to Texas, which he would have been reporting today. What kind of player could he have been had he returned to Austin?
Well, I think Texas was really expecting him to be maybe their leader for this season. He had taken over the leadership role in the offseason program, and even though he was a guy who averaged 8 or 9 points a game last year, what you saw in the European Under-20 Championships was a guy who had really matured his game from where he was last year. He averaged over 15 points a game, was one of Greece's best players in that whole tournament, and one of their guys that they had on that team was a lottery pick. And so you look at the talent that they had on that team and the role that he was able to play there. Really, he could have been an all Big 12 type guy for Texas, and so him not coming back is really a huge loss.
Looking at that vacancy now in the forward position, it's no secret that Texas did not have the season last year that they were hoping for. How are you expecting Rick Barnes to really look at this team and work around Papapetrou's absence?
Well, I think it's really tough in that he was the only natural small forward on the roster. The only other guy that maybe could fall into that classification would be Martez Walker, who's a freshman. But really, they don't have another three, and they certainly don't have another small forward who's a 6'8" guy who can really create matchup problems. And so what you're going to have to see Texas do is really take advantage of their depth at guard. And so you're going to see them employ probably a lot of three-guard lineups and try to be quicker than the other teams. The really rough part is I felt like looking at it and looking at the rest of the Big 12, prior to Papapetrou's decision, I really thought Texas was in competition for that number 3 spot in the league. Kansas has the great incoming freshman class. Oklahoma State returns all their guys, including Marcus Smart. But I really thought Texas could be that next team and be a surefire NCAA tournament team. Now they can still maybe make that spot depending on how the freshmen develop and how the freshmen come off across the course of the season. But really, they're going to have another year where if things don't go absolutely right for them, they could be missing the NCAA tournament yet again, and that's a really rough spot for Rick Barnes right now.
Kevin, in your opinion, as we mentioned that the team did report today, but there are a couple of months left until basketball season begins. How big of a deal is it for this team that Papapetrou is not coming back?
I think it's huge. It's really devastating, especially given that the one thing that you looked at that was going to be a major weakness for this year's team was going to be scoring, and that was the thing that he really provides. Texas can still trot a team onto the court that's going to be one of the nation's top 10 or top 15 teams as far as defense goes, but if they can't put the ball in the basket, they're really going to struggle, and that was the thing that I really felt like they're going to miss the most from him.
Expectations are definitely high surrounding the basketball program after last season, so make sure to keep it right here at Longhorn Digest as we continue to bring you the latest on all Texas Longhorn basketball information. Alongside Kevin Flaherty, I'm Annabelle Stefan, Fox Sports.